Alright, Shalom. I'd like to give all honor, praise, and glory to my power, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone honors to the elders among the elders, second law, they ever call. Blessings, protection to the men and women is waiting for the return of our power to deliver us, of course, from this captivity, like He delivered us from many others. And this is some news concerning World War III. Because there's no going back at this point. You see the title, it says, expert says UK is not prepared for war against Russia as World War III tensions rise. All right. And it says, we see that all these armies have increased their military spending and budget. And the strain is going to be on UK even more going forward because of the pressure of the King of Babylon, who pretty much told them to up the ante on their military spending. All right, and they're basically talking about separating from NATO. All right, so but it says a major and the Ukrainian army has warned that a war is closer than we think, and he believes that the UK isn't ready for it. Former presidential advisor Victor Adrusev is among the host of experts who have suggested that the British Army needs bolstering and that the country currently has 70,000 active troops, which pales in comparison to the size of Vladimir Putin's armed forces. Adrusev said that the UK will pay a higher price, all right, for being ill-equipped in a possible event of World War III, while claiming the Army current tactics are outdated, all right, because you have drone warfare. You have a lot of different ways of fighting war. All right, than the normal way. It's not conventional. All right, with the way that they fight these wars, and also too, you have a lot of conscription going on in a lot of these different countries. I think Germany was one of them, if I'm not mistaken. Poland. And pretty soon, at this point, it'll probably be the whole UK. And I was mentioning too, back when I was doing a lesson, I was at a bus stop, even here. I seen on the back of a bus, it is the law that you're registered to selective service between 18 and 25. So the spirit of war is definitely in the air. All right. It says urging Brits to brace for a modern day battle. He went to warn that the reality of a global war is closer, all right, than we think. Earlier this month, the president stated that the country is ready for war with Europe if it is instigated, sparking fears that the continent could be engulfed in conflict. All right, but I think here's the point that I was making. The biggest problem is that the people are not going to believe that this can happen. All right, and, it says, I am sure the UK are not prepared. It does not mean that you would lose for sure, but if you are not prepared, you will pay a higher price. All right, and that's the same way here. All right, that was the point that I'm making, that they don't believe, because that's a sentiment here. All right, as a matter of fact, let me do this. Let me grab this scripture and why. All right, let me do this. Many walked in great pride. All right, that's one of the reasons why these people. See if it could go to it. All right, as the scripture says, many have walked in great pride. All right, they don't believe that these things can or will happen. All right, and they will. All right. These people are not prepared for these things. The expectation and the hope is that Babylon will pretty much not be overthrown. This is 2 Ezra 8, 2 Ezra 8 and 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them in the latter time that shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. But understand for thyself and seek such as glory seek out the glory such as be like thee. All right. And it goes to talk, it goes on to talk. That was the point that I was making. Many have walked in great pride. All right. So the Lord is He's not going to have it in the minds of these people, pretty much, to have eyes to see what's going on. All right. Let me grab this real quick. I just had a couple of scriptures. All right. Let's do this in First Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall come upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. All right. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day shall overtake you as a thief. Ye are all children of the light and children of the day. We are not of the night nor of the darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as others do, but let us watch and be sober. All right. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. All right. In this time, these people are not watching, man. All right. And here's the mindset of let's do this. I'm gonna come back to that. Here's the mindset of Babylon. All right. Psalms 49, Psalms 49:11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and the dwelling places to all generations. All right. They call their lands after their own names. All right. Their inward thought, and that's not just the regular normal inhabitants. All right, meaning Esau, Edom. All right, but that is mainly 2/3 of our people as well. All right, they have that mindset as well. Their inward thought is that the house shall continue forever. All right. So let me go here. All right. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 11 and 14. The second woe is past. Behold, the third woe cometh quickly. All right. The third woe is coming quickly. All right. All of these things are falling right into place. All right. And they're not far away, man. All right. This is the book of Luke 21 and 34. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with sophiting and drunkenness and the cares of this life, so that the day come upon you unawares. All right. That they come upon you unawares. All right. Overindulging in the things of this world and not watching. It says, for as a snare shall it come upon all them that dwell upon the earth. All right, let's go to that word. Snare. All right, let's get some.
Strong's G 3803. Pagis.
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 All right. And Strong's definition is fastened by a noose or notch, figuratively, a trick or a stratagem, temptation. Stratagem, all right, define. A plan or scheme, especially one used to outwit an opponent or achieve an end. All right. Who's ultimately doing that? All right, it's the Lord Himself. All right. All right. The Lord has control of all of these nations. All right. The scriptures say the deceived and the deceiver are His. This is the book of Jeremiah 51 and 12. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. Make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen. Prepare the ambushes. For the Lord have both devised and done that which He spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. So, hey, it's not too far away, man. All right, and the scriptures talk about the beast hating whore. All right, you know, they've been dependent on Babylon, the intelligence, the strategy. Matter of fact, let me go here. Let me see something. If I still have it up here, it was a question that I had. It says, what happens if America separates from NATO? If America separated from NATO in 2025, it will fundamentally weaken the alliance, forcing European nations to rapidly boost their own defense spending develop independent military capabilities like missile systems, drones, all right, and even more troops to fill the significant U.S. security gap and potentially, all right, overhaul EU decision making while creating a deep uncertainty about the future transatlantic security and leaving a massive void in intelligence, airlift, nuclear deterrence, despite the treaty legally and remaining for others. All right, and it goes into saying that I ain't gonna read the whole thing. That Russia will probably test the resolve, all right, of these of this of the UK, and mainly in the Baltic, in the Baltic and Black Sea, all right, to check, as they was being poked at, they'll be poked at, and yeah, that's a scary future for the UK. But ultimately, you know, we pursuing the Revelation chapter 17, we see where all this is going. Let me, I think was it one more that I had, or that might have been it. All right, I think this is one. I'm gonna end off here. This is the book of Luke 21:34. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with sophiring and drunkenness, and the cares of this life, so that that day come upon you. I think I read that already, unawares. But hey, it's cool because you know what? They also have been. I don't know if it was Pam Bondi or another official that mentioned a major false flag. A major 9/11 style attack is coming. So we expect pretty much 2026 to pretty much judgments and prophecies to pretty much increase in these latter days. Hey, so with that, we just to continue to stand on our watch and be patient and wait upon the Lord. So with that, I pray that this lesson was edifying. And with that, I'd like to give all honor, praise, and glory to my power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah. All right, Shalom.